What is up? It's your boy Jonni.shreve, IFBB, promise to tell like it is. Welcome back to another episode of Coaching Up. Before we get started, guys, make sure you grab my ebook. The Ultimate Push-Pull Legs Training ebook is out. Go grab yourself one, come back, then subscribe to the channel, then hit the notification button so you're the first one to get everything I'm putting out. So all this information I'm giving you guys, I jammed it in that ebook, guys, and it's right there for you guys to use, to train, to optimize all your training. Anyway, guys, we're gonna get through this right now. I thought I would chime in on the, coach up the TikTokers. So I went through, after a huge headache, I decided to pick a couple that we can actually not dismantle. Like, I'm not just sit there and shit all over them. I'm gonna give you guys good tips and cues, because you guys following this shit, that means they're actually doing it. So we're gonna make sure you're doing it right. Anyway, so first one we're gonna do is we're gonna go up to this dude here. I don't know who this guy even is. Stop doing these exercises. So he's gonna give us some good cues, I guess just captions, because that's all TikTok is captions. We're gonna get some captions on what to do and some actions. Some caption and actions, let's go. Stop doing these exercises, sit-ups. Promote. Let me see, how can we stop this? How do we stop this? How does TikTok work? God damn it. How do you pause it?
There you go.
Oh,
yeah.
you said you're just gonna tap it. Tap the TikTok. You know I'm old when I can't even use goddamn TikTok. Wow, let's do this again. All right, stop doing, I just liked it. Damn it, stop doing exercises. Okay, so boom, we got sit-ups. Basically this guy's saying don't do regular sit-ups. Promotes bad posture, limited range of motion, and weak intensity level. He is completely correct. I see you guys actually ask the question a lot, how should I be doing core? Doing these, sitting here and wrenching your head like this isn't gonna do much for you. You want to really engage your TVA, that lower part of your body. This basically part right here is like an invisible belt. It's not invisible, but you can't see it. But it's a belt that wraps around your entire torso that keeps everything basically from wobbling back and forth. When this is tight, we can start doing like leg lifts and whatnot. So what you wanna do for any kind of like core exercise is really hit pulling your legs in. So let's see what he says for another exercise to complement this one to make it better. Basically goes on to say, and what we got here, boom, knee tucks. So knee tucks are really good. I'm glad he gave knee tucks out because most of the time, most people can't do V-sits. So if you're looking at doing a V-sit, we're looking at V-sits being basically up straight here and being in this position here and being able to raise yourself up and down. For a beginner level, doing knee tucks are perfect. Sitting back and pulling your leg in, that's forcing you to use your TVA to pull this big chunk of your body into the actual movement. So while we're down here, might as well go on the next one. Okay, bent arm plank. So limited muscular function, limited activation, bad for shoulders. I gotta disagree. So elbow planks basically is like a regression to doing them on your hands. So if you want to avoid any kind of shoulder issues, I'll show you. Remember the whole thing I've been saying before, stack the joints. So check it out. So when you're doing planks, no matter if you're on your elbow or your hands, you want to make sure that your shoulder is aligned with everything, right? We're stacking your joints, shoulder, elbow, wrist, right? So if we're on our elbows, maybe the same thing. Elbow, shoulder, wrist. Now, we also don't want our shoulders like this, popping into our traps. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do shoulder depression. So while we're up, we're gonna let your shoulders drop in and then engaging your core, and your shoulders are sitting in that shoulder depression when they're sitting back and over. Now then doing them this way, it's the same thing. We're gonna stack our joints, go to our top, and instead of having my traps pull up like this, we're gonna let myself sink in, engage my core, and then I'm right over top. It's the same thing. Right back down to position here, the same movement, just make sure we're not bowing our traps. So he says, yes, basically do this, straight arm planks. What is a push-up? The push-up is a modified plank. All right, so basically knee highs. I am not doing knee highs, sorry. So instead of doing knee highs, doing mountain climbers. Am I a fan of doing mountain climbers? If you're a fan of doing mountain climbers, you go right ahead and do mountain climbers. The thing is, the same posture is gonna be translated over to the mountain climbers. So when you're doing mountain climbers, your hands are gonna be the same way they were when you're doing planks. So remember to stack the joints. Most times when people do mountain climbers, their arms are too far extended in front and they're putting a lot of pressure on their shoulders while they're really not even running through their feet. Don't really recommend it, but it's a good exercise to do, get your heart rate up and working the core because again, you're working your TVA. All right, nice. So there you go. There's some movements you can do when it comes to core, how to optimize your core. Try and put it into your next workout session, probably at the beginning so you don't forget to do it at the end. All right, so we're gonna go to the next one, and this is for anybody. Basically, this is how it starts. We have how I grew my glutes from this to this. Now, that is a mixture of great genetics and someone actually just working out and getting really good newbie gains because she looks pretty young and the other person looks pretty young in the picture too. Either way, we're gonna see what she did to grow her glutes other than just do whatever she's gonna do, and we're not gonna talk about nutrition at all, but let's just see what she does. So, butt kicks, no. So I'm gonna give you guys some help when talking about butt kicks. A lot of times I see women do this all the time, women and men. I used to do them all the time, but it was for running actually. So remember, when we're trying to like build our butt, doing that motion, basically you're like halfway doing the actual 4 range of motion. So yes, I'm gonna do it for you right now. I'm getting on my knees and do my glute pushes here. So when you're doing these, if you have your leg up here, you're just doing hip extension, which you're not doing much all for your glutes. What you want to do is you want to make sure you get full hip flexion and then pushing back to hip extension and then actually adding a load. So if you're going to do like a cable kickback, what you want to do is put the band on your foot, have a little bit of a lean, have your knee come up so we have a good hip flexion already, and we're pushing that foot down and bringing it up and pulling it back in. That's what we want to kind of simulate when we're doing it on all fours. Again, you need hip flexion to get the glute to fire off. So pushing from here down and back instead of just doing this. It does nothing for you at all. All right, so we got progressive overload. Continuously increasing the amount of resistance exposed to the glutes for that exercise. So again, I would do that exercise with some kind of weight on my ankle and then getting that full range of motion. Now, we're doing hip thrusts. Now this is a movement that I see a lot of people do and a lot of people kind of get wrong. There's like one part of the movement that we're not really connecting to, and that is keeping the torso completely stiff and straight. Instead of just moving your hips back and forth and just humping the air, which is basically what most people are doing when they're doing hip thrust or glute bridges, whatever you want to call them. So since I'm already set up in the Smith machine here, I'm gonna show you guys how to do it in the Smith machine. And if the range of motion isn't that great, again, remember, when you want to have more glutes, we need more hip flexion, and then 4 range of motion to the hip extension. So we're gonna set this bad boy up. Now, a few things. When we're underneath, we want the majority of our back to be on, just like probably the bottom of our T-spine. Now, when we have our foot or hips up, we wanna tuck our feet as far underneath as possible from here, and then we want shoulder depression from here as well too. So on the way down, you're not just doing this. And I see this all the time, just this. It's up in the freaking air, right? You're gonna go from here, follow your whole body, it's gonna follow down, and it's gonna pop right back up. So following all the way down my whole body, my torso is coming down with the hinging of my hip, and then I'm pushing and coming back up. Now, if it's a range of motion issue, we just raise our feet up a bit. Get as close to your butt as you can so we can really get knee flexion. So when you get under the weight, get positioned, my feet on. If it's too far, adjust it, obviously. So, feet will be pulled back as far as they can to your butt. You're already creating knee flexion. Hips are already up, hip extension. Lats engaged and pushing down. We're gonna fall down with the weight, hips, everything, and we're gonna come all the way up. Down, and then up. See how my whole body is going the same way? I'm just looking at the ceiling, and then I'm just doing this. Because then we're just loading up our spine, doing that. Hump in the freaking air, hump the air. Right? Here, down, and up. Squeeze the glutes up, pushing all the way up, and then down, and up. There you go. Whew, got me working out, man. All right, the last one we got here is food. Caloric surplus. And there you have it, guys. There you got it. We were going good for a bit. Some exercises could a little wonky, not that, optimal. Then we go into our diet. Caloric surplus, consuming more calories than I burn off. Yes, you'll gain weight to support muscle growth in just my glutes. Oh God, lots of protein, plus protein shakes help me get my protein in. So basically, put yourself in a surplus. No, don't do that, please. Build lean muscle tissue. You don't have to be in a huge surplus, especially for women and men. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to be a big surplus to build muscle in your glutes. Now, no one's building glutes like that by just eating a little bit of surplus. You'll gain more fat than anything else. So make sure when you're increasing your overall caloric intake, do it by like 100. And if you're gonna increase it, make sure you're not like already overweight. If you're not at a good body fat percentage, there's no point of you increasing your caloric intake anyway. It makes zero sense at all. It's counterintuitive, and you're not gonna put on as much muscle as fast you'll put on fat being in a surplus. So main gain, build muscle properly, take your time, do the right movement, time and attention, good form, and there you have it. That was an actual workout, I think. Anyway, guys, hope you liked the video, guys. If you did, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. You know I'm gonna come up with that tell like it is transparent, vulnerable truth, guys. The Grab My ebook is out right now. Grab it at jonni.shreve.com. Also, if you're looking for coaching, one-time training, or ongoing training, guys, if you want to know about my coaching, grab a phone consult, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. At the end of the consult, if you want to go with coaching, I deduct that consult off any package you pick, except for the ebook. Anyway, guys, use my code Johnny15 for 50% off the Power 15 cookbook. Use my code Johnny30 for 30% off getcheck.com, guys. Also use my code Johnny for 50% off fidearmy.com. And guys, send me some progress pics, some foodie pics, some video clips. Send over, guys. I'll repost a few because you know how it is. Iron sharpens iron, progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing. Peace. Good. Focus on good. In here. Good. Take those, run with it. See if it works. Next time you go and try it out. Next time you try to implement it. Next time you put it into your next workout. God damn it. How do you pause it? I'm holding it.
Pause it? Can you not pause?